Unitarian Universalist congregation, our goal is to provide a welcoming space.
The mic is very echoey. It's very difficult to hear and understand what the speaker is saying.
Grow spiritually and explore ways to make a difference in the lives of others. We draw on a wide variety of resources to provide stimulating and meaningful Sunday services. We encourage you to attend several services to gain a good understanding of who we are. For further news, please remember to read our weekly email, which provides comprehensive information about everything going on at MBUC. Visitors, if you'd like to start receiving our weekly email, just make sure to fill out one of those blue cards that's in the back of the pocket and put the card in the box on the greeter's table. Now, let's take a minute to greet your neighbors. The chalice will be lit today by Brian Snow. Thank you, Brian. Please join me in reading the words provided for you as we light the chalice. Come to this circle of caring. We light this chalice as a beacon of hope, a sign of our listening, and a quest for clearer understandings of ourselves and others. We honor our shared moments in life. Now's the time for sharing of joys and concerns. Tina, please stop recording the service at this time. Beautiful song, We Are Weaving Our Lives, during our February 2nd worship service. Today, we're going to learn it and sing it. I have provided sheet music for everyone who finds that sort of thing helpful. And my plan is to sing this through entirely one time for you. And then I'll have us sing it together twice, and then we're going to divide it up and do it as a round. So let's see here. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journey through. Okay, let's all sing that together, all right? We'll sing it through twice just to really hear it in our heads. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our hearts and our minds. We are weaving the bright and dark threads of our journey through. Let's do the same first. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving a blanket of light. We are weaving a basket to hold all that's true. Okay, now what we're going to do is we need to kind of divide up the room. Yeah, way more. Okay, so
I do this in class all the time.
yeah.
I'm gonna create an imaginary line between Carla and Karen, and everybody Carla and over is gonna be group 1 with Lynn, and everybody Karen and over is gonna be group 2
lines and then they will come in.
You want us to come in when you're singing the second line?
Actually, yeah, okay, I do what you.
So they'll sing group 2 with me, they'll sing We Are Weaving Our Lives, and then we sing We Are Weaving.
Yeah, and we will do both verses. And then we'll stop.
So we're starting with the first one.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you guys follow Megan. You guys follow me.
And we're gonna beautifully interweave our.
There you are.
We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our lives and our lives. We are weaving our lives and our lives. We are weaving the pregnant darkness of our day. We are weaving our lives. We are weaving our life and life. We are weaving the basket of love. We are weaving the basket to hold all that's true.
So I hope to make this kind of a regular sort of, at least once a month. All right. Let's see here. Oh, it's Marilyn's turn. She has a reading for you.
These are words by Virginia Church. Each day I learn more than I teach. I learn that half knowledge of another's life leads to false judgment. I learn that there is a surprising kinship in human nature. I learn that it is a wise father who knows his son. I learn that what we expect, we get. I learn that there's more good than evil in this world, that age is a question of spirit, that youth is the best of life no matter how numerous its years. I learn how much there is to learn.
And now we have a video reflection by Sarah Gibb Millsapugh. She is a consultant minister for the Pacific West Division of the Unitarian Universalist Association. Living into the Living System.
On Election Day 2016, yes, remember that day? On Election Day 2016, I started to plant a garden. To take control of something, anything, and beautify that little plot of earth behind the condo that my family had recently moved into. Feeling distressed about our culture, our nation, feeling despair about climate change, I thought I would make this backyard not just beautiful, but an expression of my spiritual values. Now this is a small backyard, about the size of a typical living room, and most of it was taken up by a patio. I didn't have a heck of a lot of soil to work with, but I plodded ahead anyway. First, I brought out the beauty that was already there by weeding carefully, fertilizing the roses and the like. And then I purchased native plants, so threatened in our area where new houses swallow sagebrush-covered hills every day. I bought a house for solitary bees and planted flowers that they would like, and with great expectancy, I bought some milkweed, envisioning generations of monarch butterflies birthed at our home. Well, all of this was going well until I brought in the veggies. First, it was the demise of the spinach, taken down by mites. Then it was the kale, devoured by aphids. I started to apply organic pesticides, but I realized that I couldn't. They would hurt the butterfly larvae. So I bought some ladybugs to keep the insects off of veggies, and they all flew away or died. So I planted new kale and spinach, but then I noticed something was coming in and eating that new kale and spinach. Birds. So then I built this whole ugly contraption to scare away birds from the garden. This garden, my garden, wasn't very pretty anymore. And then one day, workers came to fix the patio, and a nest of 5 rats ran out from underneath. Oh my. Actually, the rats were the veggie eaters. And did I mention that we're vegan in my family? Now we were vegans with a rat problem. I was already feeling like this little yard was putting my values at cross purposes. And then we got a dog who loves to dig and lie in dirt, and she trampled the carefully nurtured native plants as well as the kale and the onions, and she came very close to squishing precious monarchs. This yard, this expression of my spiritual values, became an illustration of the interdependent web, but not in just a pretty way. It became a system at war with itself. Have you ever experienced that too, at home, in life, or here in your congregation? Feeling that despite your best efforts at all good things, things are just not working. Every little intervention you make just causes some new problem. Feeling like you're within a system that you just cannot seem to control. We Unitarian Universalists talk a lot about systems, the justice system, the economic system, the systems that are out there, our solar systems, and in here, our digestive systems, the social systems that we're caught up in. And unless you believe in an all-powerful God, you've probably come to recognize that no one thing and no one is in charge of a system. A system is really a community, a complex community of beings, each with its own behaviors and purposes. And like my backyard, the results of a system say more about it than the values and efforts that went into it. It's not just the thought that counts. I serve on the Congregational Life staff of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and this means that I support the living systems of congregations. I partner with you to tend to the health of your congregation's systems. And our congregations, like my backyard, can find ourselves all tangled up. We face conundrums like we value radical inclusion, but we also value kindness and good boundaries. So what does it mean to be radically inclusive of someone whose behavior is harmful or inappropriate? Those values can come into conflict in the life of a congregation, or times when we clean up our policies and our procedures only to find that no one follows them and loosey-goosiness persists. Or times when a congregation's bylaws say who's really in charge here, the board, but the system knows it's really Sally and Joe who are in charge. In a complex human system like a congregation, there can be so many layers upon layers of values and meaning and culture, and the way things have always been done, that it can feel pretty hard to change things. It can be hard even for someone in a position that we might ask to make change, like our congregational president, even our minister. A living system is naturally resistant to change. And the whole system needs to be taken into account if we are to transform a congregation, a backyard, our world. This is a very, very challenging time to be a person in the United States. So much anxiety, fear, hatred, so much violence, so much othering. It tears at our hearts. It is hard to know how to respond when every day there is another thing to be outraged about, another example of cruelty, autocracy, and more. This is not what we were supposed to be like, not how we were supposed to be as a country, as a world. We are Unitarian Universalists because we believe in the human capacity for goodness, and yet there is so much evil. At the same time, something else is emerging. A new sense of our power as people. Several deeply interconnected, creative, and wise movements of people working together, not only to challenge the evil, but working to make love prevail. Movements rising up as if from nowhere, catching hold, changing the course of our lives, changing the course of history. This emergence of love-based activism can surprise our nation. Why that time? Why those people? And this is the heart of what I want to share with you today. Beauty and power emerge in unexpected places when we've been tending to our living systems, planting the seeds and nurturing the roots. The contemporary activist Adrienne Marie Brown sees emergence as a key strategy for how we change the systems of our lives to be more loving and more just. Her book, Emergent Strategy, integrates justice work and sci-fi and queer and Black lives, and she explains emergence this way. Emergence is the way complex systems and patterns arise out of a multiplicity of relatively simple interactions. There are examples of emergence everywhere. She continues, emergence is beyond what the sum of its parts could even imagine. Oak trees don't set an intention to listen to each other better or agree to hold tight to each other when the next storm comes. Under the earth, always, the oak trees reach for each other. They grow such that their roots are intertwined and create a system of strength that is as resilient on a sunny day as it is in a hurricane. Dandelions, she continues. Dandelions don't know whether they are a weed or a brilliance, but each seed can create a field of dandelions. We are invited to be that prolific and to return fertility to the soil around us. And what emerges from these cycles, she continues, are complex organisms, systems, movements, societies. Nothing is wasted or a failure. Emergence is a system that makes use of everything. End quote. I invite us to think of those oak trees. Under the earth, they reach for each other. They grow such that their roots are intertwined. How are we reaching for one another in this congregation? How are we reaching for each other in the United States? As politicians sow cruelty and division, how are we reaching out and building connections instead? How are we reaching for each other beyond our border, across the world? What sort of things might emerge if we but built the relationships, the connections, connecting? Waking up to the ancestry DNA results that just came in for all of us, that we are, each of us, deeply interdependent, deeply indebted to all people and all life. Realizing that we are related to and in relationship with everyone and everything. Feeling awe and wonder and love. Love for this tremendous experience of life we share. Love for one another. Love for those who are different from us. Love for the creatures, the microorganisms, the earth, resisting with all our might with forces that tell us that we are separate, that they are other. The early 20th century activist minister Howard Thurman counsels us, to look well to the growing edge. All around us, worlds are dying, new worlds are being born. All around us, life is dying, and life is being born. The fruit ripens on the tree, the roots are silently at work in the darkness of the earth against a time when there shall be new leaves, fresh blossoms, green fruit. All around us, worlds are dying, and worlds are being reborn. Howard Thurman didn't say this lightly. He grew up in the early 20th century as a Black person in the segregated South, where he witnessed everyday legalized terror targeted against him. He did most of his work in ministry in a time when there was no certainty at all that legal segregation would end. There was no proof that nonviolence could change the world. But all the while he was planting the seeds, nurturing the shoots, looking at the life-giving possibilities for equality and freedom. And without knowing it, he built relationships and made connections that in the 1950s blossomed into an unstoppable civil rights movement. Where is this growing edge in our living system? The living system of your community. Where is that growing edge? The living systems of your town, your country, your county, your state, your province. Where is that growing edge? What shoots are arising here? What roots are spreading underground? The systems thinker Donella Meadows tells us, the future can't be predicted, but it can be envisioned and brought lovingly into being. We can't surge forward with certainty and over to a world of no surprises, but we can expect surprises and learn from them and even profit from them. We can't impose our will on a system. We can listen to what the system tells us and discover how its properties and our values can work together to bring forth something much better than could ever be produced by our will alone. We can't control systems or figure them out, but we can dance with them. I am in a dance with my backyard. The backyard is in the process of becoming, and as a player in that system, I keep watching and learning from it. There was a time I thought I made a perfect haven for pollinators, but then gave grasshoppers and powdery mildew. I'm always having to adjust and rebalance and pay attention to how the system is changing and what the system needs. Just like in a congregation, just like in life. Keep participating, keep tending, keep dancing, keep living into the living system. Through all of the ugliness, we have faith that beauty and life-giving powers will emerge. So may it be. Amen.
Let us pause to honor the silences of the world as we enter a brief time of quiet reflection and meditation. This church came into existence in the early 1980s. From the very beginning, music was important to the church founders, of which I was one. So I introduced this next song at one of our first gatherings in people's homes. And for many years, people kind of considered it to be the MVUUC anthem, because they felt like they were growing and nurturing something new and wonderful. And the words to this song certainly seem to fit in with today's sermon gardening theme. How many of you people remember singing Inch by Inch in the past? Who've been here long enough to remember that being kind of our theme song? All right, okay, yeah, a handful of you. But we're going to sing, oh, and the original version we learned had the wrong words. Because back, 40 years ago, you couldn't Google the song and hear what the lyrics actually were, so we tried to remember what they were. We didn't get them right. So the correct lyrics are here, and sing along with us.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone less these seeds are sown. Someone more than from below, till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds, picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, for the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music of the land. Inch by inch, row by row, inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, some less these seeds are sown, some more than from below, till the rain comes.
Do you need to turn off the audio? Well, normally we have it on.
Straight and long,
That's what it is. Sorry, guys.
seasoned with a prayer song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. There's an old crow watching you hungrily from his perch on yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief up there. Inch by inch, row by row, inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, some less these seeds are sown, some more than from below, till the rain comes tumbling down. One more time, inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, some less these seeds I sow, some more than from below, till the rain comes tumbling down.
Now, Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this church, which is important to so many of us. We gratefully dedicate this offering to the good of the church, the wider community, and the world. If you made the automatic pledge payment, please place one of the yellow cards indicating this support in the basket. If you want your contribution to count towards your annual pledge, please put it in an envelope and write your name on the envelope so that we know who you read it to. Got any music for us, Steve?
I'm trying.
Right, and now Marilyn will read our closing words.
May You Be Changed by Emily Richards. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction until we are all changed, transformed, and transforming together, becoming our better selves.
Please join with me as we read together the words provided for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not its meaning and mission in our hearts. Our time together has come to an end. Go in peace, be of service to one another, and may you move through the world in love for all your days. And before our closing song, we have time for some announcements. Does anyone have an announcement to make? Megan!
Alright, I got props. I have 3 announcements. The first is that today is the last day of our pledge drive. So, if you're keeping track on our very rudimentary poster board over there, we are at just above, actually, we've raised just above $30,000 at this point. Thank you to everybody who has submitted their pledges up to now. If you haven't yet, so you see this box, this is where you can put a physical pledge form, and it's been living on the greeting table in the front entryway there. And where you can find a physical pledge form is in this packet that is also on the front greeting table. If you flip to the 3rd page, we have the pledge form. So you can fill that out, fold it up, and put it in this box. We also have electronic versions of this pledge form, so we will be reaching out to folks over the next week or 2 and using, sharing a link to the Google form. But hey, I mean, you're here now, so if you haven't done it yet, please go ahead and complete a form and put it in the box. If we run out of forms, I'll just print some more.
Maybe, is there a way we can be sure that you've gotten our pledge?
Yes, you can ask me.
Okay.
I log most pledges, and so if you're not sure, you can ask me.
Okay.
Although I know they're still coming in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What is our goal?
Our goal is, I want to say 68,000. Is that right, Kevin?
Sounds right.
I put it up to 70,000 on the poster, just rounding up. But yeah, our goal is about 68,000. So we still got a ways to go.
Halfway up there.
Yes,
Okay.
but don't be discouraged at our current level, because that is very typical for the end of the pledge drive. We usually have to remind folks and work on them a little bit, so you might be hearing from not talking about. Anyway, I just wanted to give that reminder. My second announcement is that our Intersectional Book Club is going to start on Tuesday, April 8th. I know a number of you are going to be participating, so I brought a copy of the book in case people want to look at it. It's called We Are Not Broken. So yeah, April 8th at 7 p.m. we'll be meeting through Zoom. Information is in the newsletter. And finally, I don't have a prop for this, but another thing in the newsletter is the Building Beloved Community Beyond the Binary Conference. That's going to be April 26th, the same day as our blood drive. We're going to host the live stream of conference events in the RE room. So while the blood drive is going on out here, the live streams will be available in the RE area. This will include the keynote at 1 o'clock, and there are also going to be workshops in the morning and afternoon that we're going to live stream. So please look at the newsletter if you're interested, and please register if you want to attend any of those conference events. I will take questions if there are any.
Can I have one thing?
Yeah, come on up, Kevin. It's the giving guide is on the table.
Yeah, if you're you haven't pledged before, or you have pledged before, but you're not really sure how much to pledge, we do have a suggested guide. It's income based, so feel free. Apparently, it's on the front table, but also you can talk to me or Megan, and we can help you.
Oh, got some more announcements going on.
Just reminding you, our brunch bunch will meet this coming Friday, and we're right across from Levis Commons in the Scramblers restaurant. And if you are looking for a landmark, you turn in by the big AAA building, which kind of obscures it if you're coming from the north a little bit.
So is this coming Friday?
This coming Friday. And I'll send out emails to the people that normally come, but otherwise, please come. And we will be meeting at 12 noon.
And there's usually a reminder in the newsletter.
And there is usually a reminder put in the newsletter too, so.
Good.
Hi, I'm Colleen from Fellowship, and we have a social event today. So after you stay and have the potluck meal, we are going to be meeting up at Brewing Green. That's on Grove Street, Bowling Green. So anytime after 1, just enough time for you to have the potluck meal and then head over there. I plan to be there around 1, and stay for a round or 2, so you can come anytime after that. And next week, the Fellowship Committee is having a meeting after the service. So if you've ever been interested in joining and being a part of planning social events, we will be meeting in the social hall after service next Sunday the 13th.
Yes, Carla.
Some of you may know Rich and I have been fostering a assistance dog puppy. And Rich has been working very, very hard with Brady. Brady's been a very good puppy. Unfortunately, he has an urban problem. And they can't advance him to be an assistance dog. So just due to commitments that we have made this summer, we are unable to keep Brady. If anybody knows of anybody who wants an adorable black lab, he's potty trained, he's trained, and he's just looking for a good home.
But he has a vomiting problem.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a GERD or if it's, and we're hoping he grows out of it, but the Ability Center invests a lot of time and money in these dogs, and if they question that it may not be able to become an assistance dog, they have to put it up for adoption. So, but if anyone knows of anybody who wants a wonderful black lab, he's just, Rich has done a great job with him. He has been top dog every Wednesday at assistance training.
And I do have an announcement. And we have some carpet samples for you to take a look at. Carpets that we're considering for the sanctuary. We believe we are going to be installing carpet tiles, so if there are stains, we can replace them. This has been recommended by a couple of different carpeting places we've checked into. So I have carpet tiles up here, plus renderings of how they will look in the sanctuary. If you want to do a preliminary vote, there's a ballot on the chair there. You can indicate your favorites. If you hate them all, just put that on there too. But take a look, see if anything looks good to you up there. We've got 9 different samples. So let's see here. Any other announcements on Zoom or anything? No? Okay, we're going to sing "Go Now in Peace" as our closing song, and we're going to try this as a round, which I have heard it done before as a round, and it's really lovely. Megan's going to help with this again, so let's sing it through one time together, and then, and you want to use the words that are in the order of service. Yeah, may the spirit of love surround you. Good. Okay, so let's see.
If folks want to follow the written music, it's number 413, 413.
The words are a little bit different if you do them from the hymn. We'll sing through one time together. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. All right.
You can start it, and then we'll use the same groups as before, yeah? Do you remember what group you were in?
Yeah.
And then we'll start. Yeah, so Lynn's group 1, you're going to sing, "Go now in peace, go now in peace," and then my group will sing, "Go now in peace, go now in peace." All right?
And let's do it through twice.
You're in group 1, David.
We're only having 2.
Oh, sorry.
Three different groups. No.
We're having 2 groups.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 groups. How many times can you sing it?